ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's now offers coffee subscriptions. You can order a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. You can choose from 3 collections: the Flavored Coffee Collection, the Roastmasters Collection, or the Disney Signature Coffee Collection. Each collection includes 3 bags per month. With the Joffrey's Coffee subscriptions, never run out of great coffee again. Learn more and order at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
We are now passing through the Transportation and Ticket Center on our way to the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel. If you'd like to return to the Transportation and Ticket Center, you may do so by boarding an express monorail at the Magic Kingdom station.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is the gateway to the magic, ResortLoop.com. It's nearing the end of the month. It's time for that exciting show that I always enjoy doing. A lot of interaction, a lot of fun. Today it is the DVC Roundtable.
Woohoo! Crowd goes wild.
The crowd is going wild. Today on the DVC Roundtable, we have Emily Hansa-Hicks.
Well, hello there.
Brad Coates.
Somebody get me out of here.
Rebecca Toon is out fighting for freedom and COVID-19. And Joe Crachochi is actually, as we speak, touring the parks.
Yeah.
We're jealous of Joe.
We don't hate him.
Yes.
We don't hate him.
We don't hate, exactly. You know, we dislike him greatly right now, but we don't hate.
I will say
In
hate.
our heart of hearts, we love him.
We love and we're a little jealous. So that's where the hate comes from.
There you go. Better terminology.
Awesome. Before we go on, how's everybody doing? Brad, how's everybody at your world over there on the West Coast doing?
Everybody's doing good. My daughter, we got her married off a while back, and they're doing good, settling in. And then my youngest, I'm gearing up in August to take her back to college. So they're going back to school.
Oh, it's getting to be that time of year.
And for some people.
Right.
Right.
And, never know, she might come right back. So we'll see how that goes.
Right.
Exactly.
Emily, how are you and your family doing during everything?
We are doing great. We are making all the crazy, difficult decisions right now as far as our district. We're lucky enough to have one that's got has a lot of options for parents, so they can choose sort of what they're comfortable with. So we're making those tricky decisions. And by the way, all parents that are listening, no matter what you choose, it's such a hard decision, and you're doing the best you can. So here is my blessing. I think we're going to keep our kids virtual for exactly the reason Brad just mentioned, which was that we expect that they'll probably be sent home several times at least, and the school day has been really truncated. So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's pointless to send them, because there's a lot of good reasons to send kids to school and have the FaceTime and everything like that. But yeah, so we're all wrestling with that. All my friends are wrestling with that. We're all coming to different conclusions for our own families. So I know it's a really tough time. But in the meantime, we are looking through all of our Disney merchandise and making pin boards and just trying to recapture
Dreaming
the magic.
Disney.
Yeah. Trying to decide where our next trip will be, which I still don't know, but our 11-month window is coming up in a couple of days, so I better figure it out.
Oh, you better.
Right. But yeah, so it's been kind of crazy. We don't have a lot of mental space here. We don't really go anywhere, so that's part of that. But we did go to a drive-through safari recently for my son's birthday, which pales in comparison to Animal Kingdom's Kilimanjaro safari.
True.
But it was a fix, right? It was something. So
yeah.
But a camel got really close to me, and I was really a little bit worried he had COVID. But I think I haven't had a cough yet. So anyway,
I know there are lots of obstacles.
As long as he didn't wear his mask and didn't spit.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know with the drive-through safaris, once you learn where the animals are, your times get better each lap. So just throwing that out there.
That is awesome and horrible and awesome.
It can be more than one. Anyway, let's get started. We got some exciting Disney Vacation Club news this month with the Roundtable. Brad, why don't you start us off with our first story?
Actually, I was going to mention this before, but Emily just mentioned something. I was going to talk about one thing, and I think maybe I'll do it now instead of at the end, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was going to kind of touch base for all of our folks. It comes up almost every month with everybody. everybody's wondering what's it going to be like in 2021 with the glut of points, right?
Mhm,
They're going to
yeah.
get that are now flooded into 2021. And so, hey, listen, who knows? Everything is developing right now, but I'm just going to kind of give you a heads up on my experience so far. I have actually now booked 3 Disney trips. I've got one coming in August when I take my daughter back to college. I'm going to actually fly from Dallas while I'm there, go out for 3 days. And then I'm going in October. And now I'm taking a big, giant family trip in June. And let me tell you, so far, it's been wide open. In fact, I just went on a minute ago and looked again. I have Animal Kingdom as one of mine. And those that I've ever tried with Animal Kingdom, the kind of the holy grail is to try to get a club level room there. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I've booked a tree house for June for part of the stay, and then the other part of the stay I'm in a club level room. And I just looked again now. I could get a 1-bedroom club level. Like right now, the 11-month window is the 28th. So I looked basically almost 11 months out, because usually the days disappear within 1 or 2 days, right? Mm-hmm. So for the really hard ones, right now I could book a 1-bedroom for an entire week beginning on the 24th, 11 months from now, and I could book the studio for all of that except for 1 day. So. And I just looked at that one because that's the one that's usually, good luck. You're never going to, I almost never see it, even though I get on at the 11 month, within 30 seconds, I'm usually too late. So I actually got the other one with Animal Kingdom is the value rooms. Mm-hmm. I just booked my stay in August, and I got the value accommodations for every day that I'm there.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So I'm staying at Animal Kingdom for 10 points a night.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
So that basically means I'm paying $76 a night to stay at Animal Kingdom. So I'm good with that. I think I did okay.
You did fine.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
so
I've seen that too. I read a couple articles today in preparation, believe it or not, which I almost never do. I like to come here fresh, but I did see that because of the delays in the other resorts, or actually maybe not because of it, but that there is very wide availability still in all of the DVC resorts.
Mm-hmm. Which may be another part of the reason why they're not opening those other resorts up.
Mm-hmm.
They're not saying that, but
right.
But there is a lot of availability right now, and I've been looking. I actually just was booking a client that got canceled, and they said, you know what, we're just going to brave it, and we're going the week between Christmas and New Year's. It's the only other time we can go. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I had pretty much my choice of rooms, resorts, wherever I wanted to go. So for those of you that are worried for next year, though, with DVC points, it's a good sign. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get whatever you want, but it's actually a pretty good sign. There's a lot of availability right now. So anyway, on to story number 1. Continuing with the good news, they just announced that annual pass holders are going to now receive 30% off of their merchandise discount instead of the 25% they used to get, which is kind of cool. Through August 14th is the caveat. The discount is valid at most, like with most annual pass holder merchandise discounts, it's usually valid at the Disney owned and operated stores. Mm-hmm. Through Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Disney Springs. I won't say it's never available at the non-Disney owned, but it's less available. But for most of the Disney owned ones, it's available, and all you got to do is show your annual pass card to get that discount, which is cool. There are discounts out there right now. They're doing a discount on the hotel rooms as well right now, so on certain stays. So there's availability. Are you an annual pass holder, Annalie?
Usually. I don't remember when mine expires or expired this year, but yeah, we tend to get them in clusters, and we may let them lapse sometimes. So we'll plan like 3 trips. We'll have like a January, and then July, and then a January, and then we'll lapse unless it makes sense to buy them. We'll lapse for like 6 to 8 months, and then start buying them again. And then the other thing we started doing recently to stop getting hit with 5 people's annual passes all at the same time is we'll stagger the purchases. So we'll buy 2 of them. Yeah, it's like it really helps sort of cash flow, if that makes sense, because we try to vacation budget every month. Because we're addicted to Disney, we just have a automatic vacation line item that goes into savings. So that way we sort of keep the flow more regular. So we'll get Lad and Matt's passes this month, and then 6 months from now the girls and I renew. And also it depends if I'm doing a lot of running. I might renew. Yeah, so we kind of stagger it, and sometimes we let it lapse if we're not going to go for if we're not going to go for a while, or if we're going to do an interim Disney cruise.
Yeah. Well, this discount, I'm sure as a annual pass holder, that sounds exciting, but the only drawback is it's got it only through August 14th, which is kind of like, okay.
Right.
Thanks for blowing up the balloon and then popping it with your needle,
Right. Who knows? Maybe it'll get extended like the opening dates.
That's true. That's a good possibility, and I wouldn't doubt it by the looks of things. Or the sense. Are you guys getting the same sense that I'm getting in following? Is that yes, they've reduced the number of people that they're having in the resorts, but I don't think, from the sense I'm getting, they're even reaching the number that they wanted.
I agree. I don't think so either.
Coming in under that.
I think so.
Right.
I think we're going to see discounts and things coming out more and more and more, because they really want to get that number up.
That's right.
Make it even reasonable. So.
And with everything going on, there's been really not any, I can't say any negative PR from the parks. Everything's coming out that I've seen has been positive.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything negative at all.
Same.
Not towards the people in the parks or towards Disney, which is kind of cool. I was ready to hear a lot of people, the whole mask war starting between the, us and thems.
Right.
Lining up on both sides of Main Street. Put your mask on. Shut up. But it's everybody's.
That's how I want to spend a day at Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, boy, I spent all this money
just
to come
go
here
on
and fight.
Facebook.
There you go.
Awesome.
Just keep scrolling if you're on Facebook. Just keep scrolling. Before we go on to the next story, we have a little. This just in from Joe Quattrochi. He sent a note to the group. I'm sure you guys saw it. He says, "Tell the audience I said hello on the show." So there you go, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
With a picture of him. It looks like he's enjoying a beverage. He was at the Gurgling Suitcase earlier, so I'm not sure if anybody else can see the picture.
Yeah,
can we dissect where he is?
I saw that, but I don't know where that is. Where is that?
I don't
Wait,
know.
here, let's see. If it involves
You take a look.
Gurgling Suitcase.
I'll met.
Yes.
Is that where he is?
Let me see.
Oh, okay.
He
That's what
is
it says. That's what the sign said.
Okay, he is, it's Saratoga. And could he be at, it looks like a pool bar of some sort.
Yeah, it's the
Joe, we're failing you.
Libations and spirits at the Gurgling Suitcase.
I mean, that is Saratoga he's at, the picture. So that's not oh no, that is the Gurgling Suitcase, because look, okay, you guys can't see this. I'm sorry.
I'll post it with the show. I'll post the picture with the show.
I was going to say,
I could edit this out, but it's too much fun.
You can look at the awning from the inside, and it matches the outside of the awning from the Gurgling Suitcase.
Okay, sure.
There you go. So you got an inside picture and an outside picture.
I don't remember something there named the Gurgling Suitcase. Maybe they've renamed it.
It isn't. It's at Old Key West.
Yes.
The Gurgling Suitcase. Not that I know all of the bars by heart. I promise.
Hey, I was trusting that you would know.
Right. But I mean, I do believe that picture is Saratoga. So I'm a little confused, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, the one picture, but he's kind of going, well, no. Yeah,
now
look at that. That's actually Old Key West with the golf course.
Yeah, Olivia, you're right, because Olivia is at Old Key West too.
There you go. So okay.
Yep.
Mystery solved.
He just responded back on the message, says he just left and he's now at Olivia's. So there you go. Old Key West.
It's a good lineup. If I could tell him, if I could give him a recommendation, I'd tell him the shrimp and the grits. That's the best.
Yeah.
Awesome. Emily, you have our next story while we continue to track Joe Quattrochi while we record.
Right. You guys know that I always get the most exciting stories, right? So we're going to talk about a court ruling about taxes.
Yeah, you're the one smart enough to dissect these stories for us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's almost like you heard what I did all day at work. And you thought maybe I'd want to do that a little bit.
Let's do it some more.
Right. But at this time, it has mouse ears, so I'm happy. So All right, so Walt Disney World and the industry, the whole lodging industry lobby, won a sweeping legal victory. This article is from the Orlando Sentinel. That's our source here. It's going to save Disney and other hotel owners probably millions of dollars in taxes. There's been a years-long lawsuit between the appraisers, the Orange County appraisers, and Disney. And it recently went to the appellate court, which determined that the appraisers' method of doing the assessment of how much the annual property tax bill should be was invalid. They're using a Rushmore method. They're calling it illegal. I'm sorry, not invalid per se, but illegal under Florida law. So that is actually not only going to affect Disney, but a lot of other hotel companies that are in Florida. So especially right now, while their finances are just really under because of COVID, this is really going to help those companies push for the lower tax assessments. Of course, it's not going to be great for the county. So it's sort of a double-edged sword there. Disney's also already challenging the appraisals for more than 10 other hotels. The good news for DVC members is this, I believe that this will affect our dues significantly, probably.
It will, for sure.
Yeah, so this is big as far as the appraisals. This is one thing that, say, Grand Floridian and other some of the more top resorts that are located in the Resort Loop.
Well, the higher tax base too.
Yeah, exactly. They have been assessed more highly based on their location in the past too, and I'm not sure if that is part and parcel of this appraiser issue. But I know that Disney had disputed that method of using the appraisal, or that appraisal method of incorporating their proximity to the park as giving them a higher land value than the others. So, but it's this case is more than 5 years old. Back in 2012, I believe, is when Singh was elected. He brought in this new group of appraisers, and he brought in this new method, the Rushmore method, which is a legitimate method, and it's named after the author of a bunch of appraisal textbooks used by a lot of different appraisers across the country, including a lot in Florida. There are variations in how they can use that appraisal method and when the technique is applied, like where it is appropriate. But apparently the way that they have been applying it to these Disney properties has been ruled invalid, at least in Florida. It doesn't mean that, the other properties like Hilton Head or Vero is Florida, Hilton Head or Alani, they may be subjected to this method. I'm not sure, but that's not an issue. It's just the Florida properties here. So I know that was riveting, guys.
Yeah.
And I probably made it even more exciting. But
hey, personally, I found it interesting because I remember, years back when this kind of flared up. Actually, it was right around the time when there was a war going on the reapportioning of points, how they made weekends more expensive, less expensive, more expensive weekdays. Anyway, they switched it around. And so the DVC owners were up in arms, and then they're up in arms on this. Now, I'm not an expert on it, and I'm certainly not a legal expert in any means, but I do seem to remember, similar to what you were just saying, Emily, that a lot of this, the original reason why they were battling it was the feeling was that the way they were applying this system was unfair to resorts, to entertainment resorts, that it somehow took that into play, like you said, location, etc., and that somehow that made it more valuable than another hotel that was right down the road, so that they would give you a higher tax rate because it was on Disney property than on a hotel that wasn't on Disney property, if I remember correctly. And that was where they got upset, saying, listen, we understand if the property's worth more, but the rate shouldn't be different. Now, I may be completely off on that, but it seemed like that was part of it. They were upset that they were somehow singling out Disney, and it seemed like Universal had piped up at the time too. So I don't know, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. You know how that goes. They decide for one, and the dominoes will fall.
And just for anybody who's interested in this kind of thing, the Rushmore method essentially it's a method that it aims to include the intangible values of a resort, rather than just the tangible assets. So that's kind of the reason the Rushmore method leads to a higher valuation. It's including intangible value, not just tangible values. Right. So I won't get into how they do it, but essentially it sort of includes an additional value than other appraisal method would. It gives you that Disney magic, and it makes you pay for it.
Yes, it does. So,
the cash register
continuing
sounds
on
like
with the
pixie dust.
exciting news. Oh, go ahead, Tim. What were you going to say?
I said the cash register sounds like pixie dust falling.
Yeah, there you go. Continue on with the more exciting news. When you talk taxes, that's always exciting, right?
It is.
I got you.
The Disney, when they first got ready to reopen, they've set everything up in phases. The resorts, the parks opened up in phases. Disney Springs opened up in phases. Well, they were doing the same thing with their on-site hotels. I believe the first round it was just the DVC resorts, right, that opened up, and then after that they started opening up some of the other hotels. Well, it just came out that a couple of the hotels, 4 of the hotels that had set reopening dates, have now changed those reopening dates, and they've moved it further back. It's kind of like why I mentioned earlier about maybe part of the reason they're doing it is because they're trying to get people to max out certain resorts instead of having everything thin in every one. So, but the 4 resorts that got bumped back are Beach Club, Boardwalk Inn, Polynesian Village Resort, and then Art of Animation. And the Beach Club and Boardwalk were originally supposed to open up here in about a month on August 24th. And I'm sorry, Beach Club on 24th, and then Boardwalk on October 1st. But now they're delayed indefinitely. I guess they haven't even set an opening date for either one of those at this point. Now Polynesian says has been delayed from August 12th to October 4th, and Art of Animation, well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm confused. Sorry about that. Now it says there are set dates. Looks like October 4th for Polynesian and Art of Animation for November 1st. So
I have a question about this. Maybe you guys know because you have industry experience as far as booking people, and I haven't really been in the loop recently. But say you have, well, I guess you guys don't book DVC people, do you?
Using points, but we book DVC resorts.
Right. Sure. So I'm wondering if somebody is saying, I want to stay at, say, Beach Club, or say, let's pick one of the ones that don't have an opening date yet. How does that work as far as booking them? Are you able to book them in the future, or are those dates blocked out indefinitely? Or, what does that look like on the availability calendars?
Are you talking about for the DVC side?
I was thinking DVC, but I mean, this is talking all resorts.
This is talking about the paid resort side. So those,
yeah. How does that look?
Yeah, those are. I haven't. I know there's some resorts that I've gone to book for clients that weren't available. I've noticed none of the All-Stars will come up, but I've seen Art of Animation. I just don't remember what months they're showing available. So, but I would imagine they would do with these people. Let's say, for example, kind of going with what you're saying. So let's say somebody already booked for Art of Animation because they were supposed to open on a certain date, but now they've delayed it. Is that kind of what you're getting at? And they'll move them to another resort. That's what they've done with everybody through all of this.
Yeah.
So if they were booked into a resort that was closed, they'll just move them to. I had clients at All Stars, and they moved them to Pop Century.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm actually thinking like the future bookings, like they're still letting you book out at those resorts that aren't showing.
Yeah, they're available.
Okay.
They'll book you and figure it out later. If they decide to close it up.
Right. Yeah, they're probably. Yeah, it's probably what they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get you locked in, get your deposit, then tell you can't go there.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody's getting at least lateral moves, if not slight, upgrades.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends of my daughter's got upgraded to that massive suite at Riviera.
Oh, nice.
The one where Marlene was on the show, the granddaddy 3-bedroom.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you mentioned that one. That's another one of those hard to get locations that is totally available whenever I want it, like even for this trip in August to do the Tower Studios. Since I'm going by myself, I was seriously considering booking that and just trying it, see what the closet feels like.
Right.
Might as well.
Oh, I
It's a
feel
big
like I'm on a
closet for one
cruise ship.
person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just about right.
Nice. All right, Emily, you want to take us to the next story?
Absolutely. It involves a planning commission vote, so I mean, right up my alley.
It's right there.
They planned this in advance, folks. Okay, so on July 20th, the Anaheim, California Planning Commission voted 7-0 to endorse the proposed, get this, DVC addition to the grounds of the Disneyland Hotel. So this is super exciting, especially for people like myself who have never been out there. Yeah, and you can never, I mean, those are really hard rooms to get. So, yeah, hopefully this will open it up, and maybe some of those Grand Californian folk will try it out so we can get to the Grand Californian. And so the project is going to feature 12-story tower, 350 timeshare villas, a new pool, an interactive play area, a community hall, yes, a fitness center, and other amenities. The building would be located on the southwest corner of the hotel property, which is adjacent to the current Frontier Tower, which is slightly meaningless to me because I've never been there, except that this includes all of my favorite things about a DVC resort, so I love it. I also love that they're not going to be trying to share the existing pool, or, even if they do share the pools, they are going to be adding a lot of amenities.
Yep.
Yeah. So the project is moving on to the City Council for final approval, and it looks like the completion timeline target is in the year 2023. We do know, however, that COVID-19 has impacted a lot of the California-related projects. The Avengers campus at California Adventures was slated to open on July 18th, but that has been pushed. The 2 California parks have been closed for more than 4 months with no reopening date currently on the radar. And I think word out of California isn't great right now, so I don't expect that to change any time.
No time soon. Yep.
Yeah. But when it does, and in the meantime, they'll be adding some jobs and construction there in Anaheim. So that's exciting.
They will. Yeah. Tim, have you ever been out to Disneyland?
No. We were hoping to maybe doing something late
Okay.
this year, but a lot of things got changed this year for one reason or another.
It's been weird.
So let me kind of draw a picture for you guys and for any of the other DVC folks who like Emily said, a lot of DVC folks dream about the opportunity to go to Disneyland on their DVC points because you want to try both parks, but it's not going to happen. It's the smallest. It is by far the smallest DVC resort that they own is the one there at Grand Californian. So tough to get that one. But so just give you a kind of idea of the way that the hotel is set up. It was set up with 3 towers that surround the pool area and where Trader Sam's is, and then there's also the side entrance into the Goofy's Kitchen and the restaurants off of the Disneyland Hotel. And so those 3 towers surround that pool area. And so it's pretty cool. It's nice and compact, but a lot of rooms and space. Well, if you guys haven't Googled that new DVC resort there, Disneyland, you need to Google it, take a look at it, because they're going to basically put in that resort on the 4th side that surrounds the pool. So, and it's actually going to be quite a bit more involved than the other 3 towers. The other 3 towers are basically straight up towers. The one that's the DVC resort is kind of in the back side of it kind of steps down in steps. It's like 13 stories tall, 14 stories tall, then 10 stories tall, then 8, then 6, then down to the bottom. And then on the back side of the resort, as Emily mentioned, they're putting in another pool. But you will be able to use the monorail main themed pool for Disneyland Resort as well. So now, you're right, it just expands. It's kind of like any of the other resorts. Like if you go to Saratoga, you can swim at any of the pools. They won't stop you. That's in the resort. You know what I mean? Right. So they're just giving you more pool square footage, which is good because you're going to need that because it'll get a little crowded with 350 more rooms. that one pool would have got just a little bit ridiculous. So it's really cool the way they've designed it. I think it's brilliant the way they've done it. And as a DVC owner and a big Disneyland fan, I can't wait.
That is really. You had me at monorail themed pool, actually.
Oh yeah, it's called the water slides. They look like the monorails.
Oh my
gosh,
the
line and the blue
will
line.
Insane.
Yeah,
the sun will go insane.
Yeah,
we have to
actually
go.
Pretty fun slides. So yeah, it's a great experience. I'm a big Disneyland fan. Even if you're a total, Disney World homer, it's like this. It's the best park. That's cool. But you won't be disappointed unless you just go to Disneyland deciding you want to be disappointed. It's definitely not a 5-day trip or 7-day, in the parks trip, but it's a great experience, especially if you stay in one of their hotels.
It's an on the way to Alani trip. That's what it is.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
I've done it before. I want to do it again.
Yes.
We'll all do it soon.
Yeah. So one of these days, I know we talked about that way back when our beloved other leader was with us.
Ah, yes.
And we were talking about doing a group a meet out there one day, a Resort Loop meet, but we never did get there. One day.
Someday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am optimistic and excited to do it. So then there's that.
And that tying into that same thing, and the report there when you were talking about the pool, did you want to talk about that, Emily?
Oh, sure.
And the water feature that they're doing?
Yes. So the cool thing about all this, you referenced that we should go check it out. You were absolutely right, and you kind of can, because unlike a lot of the developments in, I guess not unlike, but in Florida, some of the stuff has some mystery for a while. It looks like because of the Anaheim Planning Commission, we have a gorgeous 1,600-page report that details every aspect of that proposed addition. Yeah. So one of the things we get to see is a new Mickey Mouse themed interactive water feature. And it's said to have squirting arching sprays that are going to appear to paint red, yellow, and black ink splats in the shape of an abstract Mickey Mouse on the bottom of the pool.
Nice.
So very cool.
Cool. That just sounds like so much fun.
It does.
I'm trying to remember, neither of you have been to Aulani yet either, right?
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Nope.
When they do that, when you go there, you got to do even if your younger kids aren't with you, just do it for the fun of it. The Menehune, they do it like that. Yeah, that is so much fun. It's like what they do for those of you that are listening that may not know, it's like Epcot's, what was it, the platypus, the adventure.
Phineas and Ferb.
Thank you, Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, before it was Kim Possible before. Now it's Phineas. But anyway, it's similar to that, the Menehune adventure. And so you go around and you do certain things, and if you solve the puzzle, there's squirting flowers that nail somebody on the river, the lazy rivers that go around the corner. Also, the flower squirts them because somebody on the bridge just made a Menehune mess with you, and it's just a lot of fun. So this sounds like
for
that.
Those of you who, yeah, totally. And if you are one of those people that have not yet been to Epcot and tried to occupy small children while you sample the wares from across the world, and by that I mean drinks and food.
Libations.
Right,
libations. Right, and all the delicious street vendors, of course, that they have along there. They still do have something like that. It's not, I don't think it's Phineas and Ferb anymore, but it is called KidCot. And last time we went, and it's really fun. The kids get to do little themed activities that are themed around the various countries. So they learn facts, and they work with the international employees who are, of course, not there right now, but they work with those people to learn about the countries that you're visiting, and they color little bears and things like that. Duffy, I think, probably.
Yeah, KidCot actually has been there for quite a while. It was there while the other adventures were there. Yeah, but it's
gotcha.
But then when they stopped the Phineas and Ferb, a lot of people went back to doing KidCot. But yeah, KidCot's really cool. It's kind of, have you ever taken your kids and done the one at Animal Kingdom where they kind of go around and they do different things there to become adventure rangers or whatever they call them?
Yes, they become wilderness explorers.
Yes,
that's it.
Yeah. Wilderness Explorers.
It's so much fun. You get stickers. You learn tons. I didn't get any stickers myself. I wanted them, but funny enough, I'm wearing a Wilderness Explorer shirt right now.
Oh,
Look at that.
yeah, look at it. Represent.
A little bit of Tuesday happiness. And yesterday,
but Kid Cut's a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, they make things, paint things, create things, and they learn a lot about the different countries and regions of the world. And yeah.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, before we continue,
Do you have a question?
update on Joe Quattrochi. And
Yes.
where in the world is Joe
Where in the world?
Quattrochi? He's at Olivia's, and he has ordered the baked potato soup
Attaboy.
and the conch fries.
Ooh.
In the world is Joe.
I'm sorry, baked potato soup and
Quattrochi.
the conch flat sub sandwich, not fries. My scroll screen. Oh, and a Bud Light, just so everybody knows. So
There you go. Round it off.
Yeah, because we don't want no calories.
Now I want some conch fritters.
Saving it for his time over at the ice cream shop.
Right.
After-
Ample Hills, which tragically I
Oh.
just heard is not reopening.
gone.
Probably.
No.
Oh,
Signage
no.
removed.
The signage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. Although I always did think it was hard because you have beaches and cream right across the way. So it's like, I mean, it wasn't totally parasitic, but it seemed like it would be hard for both of them to be super well attended.
Yeah, I think it was an upper level corporate issue, not really where the location was there. From what I kind of read.
Was that a franchise location?
I think
If
so.
that was a franchise.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
gotcha.
Yeah.
There you go. That makes
Oh
sense.
my goodness. So I'm in talks to make it the new Resort Loop headquarters. So we'll see if that, if we can agree on a number.
I'll throw $5 in.
Okay.
I'm gonna want
There
to-
goes the diet.
There you go. All right, guys. That's it for our news, but we have a question from Vicky Marie from Looper Nation Live. Here it is. Are you ready? This is kind of fun. This will be fun to talk about. Imagine you could stay for a fortnight. That's 14 days to you and me, 2 weeks. And you had to do it in any DVC resort with your family. Which would you choose and why? You can't stay a few days everywhere. Matter of fact, don't pick one night at each one. But you can choose a maximum of 3 resorts. So 2 weeks, 3 resorts, DVC resorts. Which one do you pick? Ladies first. Emily, what would you do?
All right. I know I thought I was ready for this question, and now I suddenly realized that there are 3 off-site resorts that I haven't been to. And that troubles me. So,
Oh,
I mean, I'm only allowed to stay at 3 resorts.
only 3.
A
Only
fortnight.
3.
Yeah,
Fort-
I mean, part of me wants to say I would split up the trip between checking out Hilton Head, Vero, and Aulani, but we all know that you can't resist the world. So what I would do, and I completely just forgot Disneyland. I apologize, Brad.
That's
But
okay.
what I think
I wasn't going to do
probably-
Disneyland either.
There you go, there you go.
Not for this.
Yeah, I think she's talking about Walt Disney World only for this one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stay at the World to eliminate travel time between parks, so I
Right.
don't have dead days. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have I'm going to try to centralize it, like have one resort loop resort. So I'm thinking, man, this is tough because believe it or not, I'm waffling between Grand Floridian and Wilderness Lodge.
Ooh.
If you could pick any room type, it would be Wilderness Lodge in a Copper Creek cabin. But if you can't pick any room type, I think maybe I would go with Grand Floridian now that we're supposed to be able to walk to the park.
Mm-hmm,
So I love that. So I think I would want that proximity to Magic Kingdom for part of the trip. Then I think I would wrap myself right back over to, I would take myself over to the Epcot area. And man, we always stay at Boardwalk because it's cheap point wise and we love it. But I sure do feel luxurious when I stay at Beach Club. So I think ultimately, and then I guess Riviera is kind of a Epcot resort now. But I do think we would probably, as a family, prefer Beach Club. So I would say Beach Club, I think. My husband would disagree, and he would say Riviera or Boardwalk because he likes the more adult feel of those. But I'm going to say Beach Club because this is my time, right?
That's right.
That's right. That's me time. You
Right,
come on the
that's
show and pick your own.
Right. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I've never buy a contractor because there's just too few years on them and they're too expensive to make it worth it to me. But I would like to stay there anyway.
Sorry to interrupt, but I gotta interject this because my wife and daughter are totally into TikTok now.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as you said that, all I could hear is what they say all over my house now. They keep walking around the house going, "You take care of yourself." Tell your husband, you take care of yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Just where I'm staying. You take care of you. Sorry. Anyway, I digress.
love it.
You go ahead. Finish it out. What's your third
Yeah,
resort?
like I'm taking care of myself. Maybe I'm alone on this trip. We don't know.
You could be.
Right. That's right.
Right? Man, if I'm alone, maybe I go to Riviera. No, I think I stay at Beach Club. So then my last stay is going to be somewhere relaxing. And, man, that is really between, I'm kind of thinking either Animal Kingdom Lodge or Wilderness Lodge. And I think I'm going to tip in the direction of, geez, this is tough. If the kids aren't with me, we're going to Wilderness Lodge. And I'm just going to hang out at that pool, and I'm going to hang out at Geyser Point the whole time. And I'm just going to maybe ride a bike and just chill out, just like enjoy that atmosphere. But if the kids are with me, we might go to Animal Kingdom Lodge so we can partake in all of the animal activities and just really enjoy that resort, because there's so much to do there. You never need to go into a park. You don't even need to go to Animal Kingdom because it's basically a little mini park there. So, which is one tip, by the way, if you're looking for an easy park-free vacation, a socially distant vacation to some extent, Animal Kingdom is a place you can go and stick to the resort and really kind of get a lot of entertainment value out of just resort activities, and you'll see tons of the animals as it is. So yeah, that's my 3 selections. I feel like I could waffle all day, but there you go.
Yeah.
Decisions have been made. We're proceeding.
You're one of those ones that says, you got to pick 3. Okay, this is my alternate, my other alternate, my
Right.
15th alternate.
Right.
I'm now
And
staying
actually,
at 14 resorts, one night at.
There you go.
right. I think it'd be harder to say pick one. I actually think that would be
brutal. That would be
Right.
brutal.
Right. Okay. So how about you, Brad?
So I'm gonna, it's a lot of similarities there. When I was thinking about it, I thought, first thing I would say, well, for one of the stays, I definitely want to be on the monorail loop, right?
Yes.
I want to be up on the north side and with the ease of the monorail and everything. And to this day, I've yet to stay at Grand Floridian.
Gotta do it.
It's on the list, and every time we look at it, of course, it's usually because we look at the amount of points and we go, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But it's pretty high with DVC points. But I got to be honest with you, I probably still will have to say I'm not going to end up there on this trip, only because I am a big Caribbean cruising. That's my jam. I just love the atmosphere, and I love the atmosphere of Ohana. I love the atmosphere there. I don't like the food at the luau, but I enjoy the luau. So I think I would probably, if I'm going to do a monorail loop hotel, it's probably going to be the Polynesian.
That's fair.
And then I like what you said about Beach Club. But I think you might have swayed me. I was thinking Beach Club because that's my wife's favorite resort, and it's definitely high up there for me. We probably had more fun there than any of our DVC resorts that we've been to because of the pool and the proximity to Boardwalk and to Epcot. But I think I'm going to try Riviera because of the Skyliner and because of the resort. It's just such a cool looking resort. So I think I'll do that one to do the middle, and then while I completely agree with Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom with that, because that was exactly what I was thinking. Part of this, I'm there for 14 days. Listen, I'm an old guy. I'm not spending 14 days in the park. It's just not. I got to have some time to recover from the energy, all that's going on. So I definitely would want one resort where you just kick your feet up, you do some things if you want to, otherwise you sit at the pool and you just relax. And while I would love Wilderness Lodge, I'm a Colorado kid, grew up in the mountains, I'm totally geeked out, sold out Animal Kingdom lover. I love it when I walk into that lobby, right, and you've left the country. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're in Africa. It's just everything about it, the smells, the sounds, the people, and to me, it's like I could go there, just never get on a bus, and I'd feel like I, headed over to do a safari in Africa, so.
Absolutely.
So that's where I'd do my third one.
And you know what, now that I think about it, let me just throw in a shout out to Saratoga and Old Key West, because they're right there by Disney Springs, and that would be really fun too.
And if it's going to be a relaxing time, because the only negative to Saratoga to me that's ever been there is just the transportation.
Right.
The resort's awesome. If you're relaxing.
Perfect adult location. Yeah.
And well, you got to walk a long ways. Well, only if you're going to the main office. Every place has got a pool.
Right.
If you walk into downtown Disney, it's very convenient. That's a good one for the relaxing side too. Yeah.
It's so pretty to just walk around too. Like just walking. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're going to say, Brad. You're going to tell Tim to answer this question. And I wonder if Tim even thought about it.
I want Tim to answer. We want to know what Tim wants to do.
I have been thinking about this question as you guys have been speaking. And I'll be honest, one of the ones that was initially on my list was Old Key West. Because when we were there a couple years ago, we fell in love with it because it was our first time there. And it was so quiet and so pristine.
Yeah, very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And our room wasn't even one of the ones that was redone at that point yet. We loved it.
And their pool is actually, it's small, but it's very nice. The slide and everything.
And the rooms are huge. The rooms are huge.
So huge. And we were in a 2-bedroom, so that might have been part of the reason we loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move in the in-laws.
Yes.
No, don't do it.
No, that's exactly why we had it. But, and then we didn't get a chance to do this either, but the boat to Disney Springs.
Yes. So easy and beautiful.
Oh, I'd love to do that, but that's not on my list.
Okay.
That's a good. Yeah.
But as you would say, it's on there, and I might Mickey waffle back and forth on which one I'm going to do.
Oh, I love it.
But I'm going to start off at Bay Lake Tower, a resort I've never been to.
Oh, fun. It is a good one.
I get to
get a theme park view.
I get a theme park view, I'm hoping. I get access. I mean, hopefully somebody can take me because I can't get in myself to the Top of the World Lounge. But I go...
Stick with me, kid.
That's what I'll do. I go back to being able to go to the old Top of the World Lounge where the California Grill is now. And going up there. So I was so excited when they named the lounge up there Top of the World Lounge.
Very cool.
How's the pool there? I don't even know if I know anything about the pool there, to be honest.
We went in January, so we didn't go in the pool, but it was funnish.
Okay, I'll take it.
It was kind of modern. It wasn't as whimsical as some of the other pools, in my opinion. But
that's a good way to say it. It's not whimsical.
It's like very contemporary feel, I'm assuming, where it's just kind of,
Yeah.
Like the rooms at Bay Lake. Very, very upwardly classy, silver metals, glass kind of feel to it.
All right.
Which, by the way, my husband loved, my mom loved. I was just sort of like, eh. It was a wonderful hotel. But when I'm at Disney, I want to be transported to like somewhere totally different,
Love it.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to start off at Bay Lake Tower. Then I'm going, because I can't not go there. It's been a few years since I've been to the beach club.
Yeah.
I just love being...
Can't miss.
And you know where that building is. It's right next to Epcot. You can't get to a closer building than that.
You cannot. You can be in France in seconds.
Exactly. Really. France in seconds. Now, the Skyliner station's right there, too.
That's true.
Oh,
so there's that.
That's true.
But the thing put me over the edge, of course, was Stormalong Bay.
Yeah.
Love the pool.
Best pool on property by far.
And I'm going to finish it out. I agree with you guys. Animal Kingdom Lodge. The same thing. Nice. There's the escapism. The food there is too good. I love the Mara.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's it.
The food. Didn't even think of food.
Oh.
That's probably because I just had dinner.
So those are my 3.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to hear what everybody else... What's everybody else's out there? In Looper Nation Live over on Facebook, post what your 3 are. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about. I did think about Riviera, and I'm like, eh.
Right. I mean, it's gorgeous.
It is.
I'm glad we stayed once. But Matt and our takeaway was kind of like, that was really fun. We don't have to do that again, though. Like it was... The Skyliners was the best part. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm,
don't get me wrong. It's just that we'd rather be closer to the parks and closer to. Yeah. It didn't feel as Disney. It didn't feel as Disney.
I've been trying for a solid week to get an answer from Riviera. I've called their front desk, and been put on hold for. Let me see. The first time was 40 minutes, and then they hung up on me, and then the second time was an hour, and they never did answer. Then I've texted them direct guest services, and they still don't answer that question directly. So that's just to let everybody know out there. Don't expect a good answer from them. But I just want to know the one thing that's a struggle. Did you run it when you were there? When were you there, Emily? Was it after January?
It was in January.
Okay. Had they made the bus system only once an hour to Epcot and to Hollywood Studios yet?
I don't think they had, but we were kind of addicted to the Skyliner, so we took the Skyliner unnecessarily in every way we possibly could.
Which I would be. I'm so in the boat with you on that. I love the Skyliner. What I'm worried about is when I go out there with the safe distancing practices with those Skyliners, me by myself, I'm going to be the only one in the car.
Oh, right. And they might hold you for a while.
So it's what are the lines going to be like to try to get there? And right now to go to 2 out of the 4 parks from Riviera.
Right.
Is that going to be a nightmare because they only send the buses out once an hour? What I was wanting to find is, have they increased the number of buses they're sending? Because that would help to accommodate for it, right?
I'm thinking that those, especially with the reduced sort of capacity, that those lines are not going to be that long, and they move so quickly. The Skyliners move so quickly. The loading is very fast. And
yeah, it does load quick. I was just concerned about how few will be able to get in a car, but I guess it's true. There was only usually 4 to get in a car anyway.
Right. And then they get pretty aggressive. In my experience, they get pretty aggressive like after the park closes and everything to make sure that you're only getting on the Skyliner if you need to, kind of, if that makes sense. So they were like, are you like, this is the only places this is going? Are you going to one of those places? And they didn't like check your reservation, but I think that they pretty much protect the Skyliner use for the resort guests at a certain point.
Okay.
That's the way it felt. So I wouldn't hesitate based on that, just because there are so many of those Skyliners and they do like really quickly rotate through. We didn't have to wait very long ever.
Which would make this little quick trip of mine by myself an awesome trip. If I could get to Hollywood Studios and Epcot real quick, that'd be.
Right. Yeah. And they'll put you on by yourself. I thought, I don't see why they would, they're not going to stick you.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Less priority, right?
Yeah.
They'll put you by yourself, but they won't be like, oh, you're by yourself, so you're going to have to wait for all these families to go first. That doesn't make, I don't think that makes any sense. Right.
All right.
Nice.
Well, Tim, I love your idea. I think what we need to do is we'll all go at the same time and we'll all end up at Animal Kingdom, and that's where we'll do our Resort Loop.
Love
gathering.
It.
I love that so much.
Great.
That we were going to have to. We'll have to make something like that happen. Hopefully, maybe in 2021.
There you go. That'll work.
Resort Loop convention. A full convention.
I love it. There's going to be a lot of logistics, but I'm going to have to work that out.
I'm
gonna skip the night when you guys drink around the world, though, if that's okay.
You
guys have to drive yourselves home.
I was gonna say we need a designated driver though. So.
It'll be the Skyliner driver.
We can give you some soft pretzels or whatever to keep you.
Yeah, there you go.
Brad, you're going to want to come because I'm not a drinker, so it's going to be very entertaining. I guarantee.
We'll get them to do stuff, and they'll never remember they did it.
There you go. Until we see it on YouTube the next day.
If only we could forget.
Yeah.
I don't drink enough to forget, guys.
There we go. All right, before we wrap this up, Emily, where can people find you?
In my house all the time.
Exactly.
Moderating a couple of Facebook groups. I've been trying to keep up with the virtual Disney runs. So I've occasionally, actually this week, we've got to get our July run in. So you can find us on Resort Loop Rocketeers every once in a while. And let's see. That's pretty much my entire social media presence right now because I am working a full-time job while taking care of 3 small children. So you can imagine that my presence is really quite not at my disposal any longer.
We are happy you decided to join us this evening. That was
right. You are VIPs.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow.
Okay.
No pressure.
None at all.
Well,
oh my God.
She made the commitment before Joe backed out.
Well, there you go.
Right. I was afraid
she thought Joe was.
I was afraid you guys can't handle the Rushmore method, guys.
Come on.
Yeah,
I guarantee.
Right.
Isn't it 4 presidents doing math? Isn't that how that
Rushmore?
works?
What did they carve a new one on there? What's the deal? I don't understand.
You go to Hall of Presidents.
There we go. Brad, where can people find you?
So I'm kind of the same boat as Emily. I'm hanging out here. I'm on social media a lot, but it's because of my day job. So, but when I am just having fun, you'll find me in the Resort Loop. Facebook page, and Papa Mouse One on Twitter, and hanging out, and hopefully here in August, hanging out at Disney World. Come see me. We'll be able to spot each other real easy. By the looks of the crowds, it's going to be real easy.
That's right.
So,
You don't need a Crystal Palace reservation any longer to get a picture in front of the castle with no one else.
Awesome. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap us up here. Guys, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you helping me out. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. Look us up over at Looper Nation Live. That's where I usually post some questions and some interesting things and interesting polls and all that during the week. Thanks for, what am I going to say? Thanks for joining us, yada, yada, yada. You've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. Take it away, guys.
see you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoop.com.